So, it was my resolution for the New Year's. I want to be on the Patient and Family Advisory Council, or on Patient and Family Advisory Councils, to eradicate the State of the Union bill that seems to not address what we're doing in the community to help a solution to mental illness, a solution to poverty, a solution to eradicate loneliness in society. So, some people would suggest, like, maybe having a drink, maybe doing their drug of choice. That's not an option today to me, because I want to knock out the idea of drinking and driving, the idea of being under the intoxication of a substance while driving, or being under the influence of any substance that's illegal whatsoever in this nation, in this great nation of ours, eternally from here on out in the public eye. Let's get a move on to knock out this occurrence of tragedy in the realm of reality. Is that too much to ask for? I mean, do we really need to improvise when it comes to drug deals and drug lords? Do we need to find another solution to dealing with the problem of mental illness? No, it's all about medication. You take your medication, you don't do drugs, you eat properly, you exercise properly, and you stay educated on what you need to do about the problem and how to address every problem. You stay educated on your mental illness, on substance abuse recovery, on dual diagnosis, the diagnosis of a mental problem and a substance abuse issue at hand in one diagnosis is dual diagnosis. Well, let's start at the point of maybe establishing that there is a problem at all. Maybe we're faced with the notion that we have a mental illness. Okay, what do we do? Number one, you see a psychiatrist. If a psychiatrist suggests that you need medication, you take your medication as prescribed by your doctor, and you don't stop taking the medication unless your doctor insists that you stop taking the medication. Now, if you're having a problem with your medication that seems substantial and you really need to stop your medication, then you make a phone call to emergency services, or you call your doctor firsthand in the middle of the night, if that's when it is, and you tell them that you can't take your medication anymore, and you don't take your medication anymore according to a doctor's advice. Follow through with your doctor's advice and get your doctor's advice and get him on your team, rooting for you, making it his decision that you stop your medication if you really need to stop your medication for any reason. If the medication is really causing you a health risk or a health problem, then you might actually need to stop your medication. Otherwise, if you're just having minor side effects, then you don't need to stop your medication. But if you're having heart problems or you're actually dying from your medication, then you shouldn't take that medication anymore, you need to talk to a doctor immediately. You might need the emergency health line. You might need to talk to EMS, or you might need to talk to an ambulance. You might need to call 911. You might need help right away. You might need to get an ambulance to come to your house and help you if you're dying from medication poisoning. But otherwise, you go by your doctor's advice. That's medication. Then you have drug addiction and drug abuse, which is a whole nother issue. It has to do with substance abuse, which can be alcohol or drug related. Abusing a substance, you can abuse alcohol by drinking too much, or by drinking at all while you're on medication, or while drinking at all when you're a minor. It's very easy to drink too much if you're under the influence of alcohol when you're underage. So keep that in mind, that when you're a minor, when you're someone who's drinking and you're too young to even buy alcohol yourself, maybe you're too young to drink, so you should get some idea of what alcoholism can be like in your life, because you may get addicted to alcohol easier than someone who's older and weighs more, because it matters how much you weigh to your body is how much your alcohol your body will tolerate. Your body won't tolerate as much alcohol if you weigh not that much. If you weigh a whole lot, you have a high tolerance for alcohol, and you may be able to drink more without getting completely drunk. So realize that with alcohol, that your tolerance matters with how the alcohol affects you and your system. And it matters whether you become an alcoholic or not, how much you're drinking and how much you can tolerate as well. So, if you're drinking to the point where you're getting so drunk that you're overdosing on alcohol and you're throwing up regularly every time you drink, you throw up that night or during that day when you're drinking, you're overdosing on alcohol and you're drinking too much. So you need to get a sense of awareness about your situation, and you need to quit drinking alcohol. Because overdosing on alcohol should be illegal. It's not illegal, it's just not recommended. So don't drink if you're having a problem with alcohol. Definitely, if you're drinking to the point where you're drinking and driving, where you feel you have to drive while you're drunk to get to your destination, you're really abusing your rights as an alcoholic and as a drug addict possibly too. Because the other issue of drug abuse comes when you start using drugs at all. Illegal drugs remain illegal and should not be used if they're an illegal substance. If drugs are illegal, you should not use them. It's a violation of the law. And then make them legal for certain reasons, because they're addictive, because they're habit forming, and because once you get addicted or get in the habit of using them, they cause you to wind up in jails, institutions, or to wind up dead. And that's the facts, Jack, of prison abuse and drug addicts and alcoholics who drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs and wind up in a situation. Our next concern would be exercise. It's important that you get good exercise, that you exercise your body, maybe doing push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. You want to do some weightlifting training if you can, some bench press. Get in some good vigorous weightlifting, some good vigorous exercising, just to stay fit, keep your heart strong, keep the blood flowing, and to get the medication regulated in your body properly. Exercise can be a good source of getting your body going to keep your mind strong. Just like your brain controls your whole body, your body can be a source of nutrients to your brain as well if you exercise regularly. The next step is to eat properly. You need a proper diet. You need a diet that allows you to properly get the nutrients you need, the vitamins, the minerals, the protein. You need to eat proper meats. You need to eat poultry. You need to eat fish. You need to eat beef. You need to eat lamb, maybe pork, a little bit of pork. You know, lamb is more healthy than pork. Pork is not that healthy if you eat a whole lot of it, but it can be okay every once in a while. You got to be careful with the pork. You might not want to eat pork, especially if your religious beliefs don't coincide with eating pork. You might not want to eat pork. So, but what you should eat is vegetables, fruits, oats, grains, wheats, you know, everything that makes you stronger and allows for you to get proper protein into your body. The meat will help with the protein, but so will the vegetables, so will the fruits, so will the fruits offer a different sort of fiber that may not be exhibited in protein, but the fruit offers something that's good for your muscles and good for your body that allows you to get proper nutrients into your body. So you should eat fruits as well as vegetables, as well as wheats and grains and oats and other proteins if necessary. You must drink at least 8 cups of water a day if you're a child, at least 8 glasses of water a day if you're an adult. Big glasses of water if you're an adult. 8 cups, good-sized cups of water a day if you're a child or if you're an adolescent, because this allows for proper nutrition. It allows for the flow of getting rid of toxins in the body and getting rid of anything that ails you, that builds up in your body that doesn't need to be in your body, like excess vitamins or excess minerals or excess anything in your body that's excessive that needs to be removed from your body. The water will help it flow through your body well, and you'll urinate out a lot of toxins and problems and excess nutrients in your body that don't need to be there, that formulate in the realm of toxins. So realize that water is healthy for you. So is juice. So is any kind of beverage that doesn't have health risks to it. You know, there are different beverages that will allow you to be healthy, that will accustom to your daily intake of food. And beverages are good. They can be healthy and they can be very strong within your system to allow you with what you need to exercise and do what your body needs to be helpful to your proper diet and your food intake. The next thing you need to worry about is education. So we've got medication, alcohol and drug management, substance abuse, education, substance abuse, exercise, proper diet, and then education. Education is the last one. Education is something you need to focus on so you know what you're doing with everything that you're involved in, so you have a correct assessment of your medical diagnosis as well as your mental health diagnosis, so you have an understanding of basic principles in your life, your basic priorities, what you need to work on in your, if you're dual diagnosis, if you have substance abuse issues, what you need to work on with your substance abuse issues, what you also need to work on with your mental health issues, what you need to work on with your diet, with your what beverages you need to drink, with your exercise routine and your education and your medication too. You need to know what your medication management is like, and you need to understand how your medication interacts with your mind and your body, so you can be on top of that too. So be educated in the field of everything that you need to know to arrive at a point where you have a good understanding of what you're doing in life and what you need to know in life to present yourself with an outcome that's positive and beneficial to you in your whole life.